You're ready.
I know.
I am rolling.
Josh Arnold.
Oh, nice. You said it great when you were under duress. And
I'm driving in my car. I turn on the radio.
Karma just dropped out of the sky and took a big chunk out of the back of your neck.
You say drive a little closer.
Josh Arnold Investment Consultant brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1681, December 16th, 2025. 58 degrees on this day.
Yep.
In 1939, man, they had a lot of warm weather in 1939, and 22 below on this day in 1876. Do yourself a favor and call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
I think you printed this out, so look at it and tell me where that came from.
All right.
I can't tell where that came from. We have a proposal from Jake Rudlang for a new Garage Logic holiday. I'm going to take it under advisement.
Okay, this is serious then.
Hail the Flashlight King.
Hail you.
That was very good. That was very inspired. To the mayor and fellow GLers, Jake, hailing from Pine River, Minnesota, a loyal listener since my younger days, spent absorbing Garage Logic wisdom of my aunt and uncle's abode in Anoka. As a combat veteran, having served 2 tours, my cylinder index stands at a reasonable 29. Now to the point. I propose the chunk opener.
Oh, come on.
A celebration acknowledging the annual return of these pesky frozen missiles clinging to our cylinders. Picture this. On the first day the chunks appear, those icy stalactites born of winter's salty kiss, GLers across the frozen nation will ceremoniously usher their chunked vehicles into the crisis center, a.k.a. the garage. The ritual shall commence with the strategic removal of said chunks, a squeegee ballet to banish the brine, followed by a hearty shoveling of the icy remnants. Only then, with cylinders liberated and the garage floor cleansed, may the GLer recline amongst the garage wood, those cherished, abused planks destined for projects unknown, and partake in a frosty cold one. This holiday will promote cylinder index tasking priority in the face of winter's challenges and remind us all to give up space. Never give up space. Ooh. Consider this addition to the GL calendar a testament to our enduring spirit in the face of the mystery. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, you're taking that under consideration.
I am. We got the opener.
Forgot all about give up space.
You can't give up space.
I got the guy next door to me, Squeak,
Yeah.
that takes out the 2-stage and does everybody's sidewalk. But he does up to the curb. After the plows come by, he gains about 3 feet of space because he goes right up to the curb on the street.
I don't want to propose this because I don't want to get billed for it. St. Paul doesn't have any money. There are plows that have an auxiliary blade that rides along with the plow in a horizontal position, kind of hugging the passenger door side of the truck. And then when they deposit the hump at the end of the driveway, that plow swings down, takes it, dumps it, and swings itself back until the next driveway.
Oh, you're implying that you haven't seen that in St. Paul. You're saying they should.
No, I'm saying there are trucks.
Those.
No, I'm saying there are trucks that do that. St. Paul does not happen to own those trucks.
Well,
nor does Minneapolis.
St. Paul has the mindset of it'll melt.
Well, they have that mindset, but doesn't that sound like a neat rig?
Yes.
You're driving along doing the plow, and then when you're coming to a driveway, that auxiliary plow swings out and accumulates the plow blades stuff,
Sure.
and they dump it between homes, and then the auxiliary blade goes back into its resting position.
It's like the Calcutta Clipper.
It's a neat toy.
Swings down, swings
It's a
up.
neat toy.
You'll recall the fellow who had some squeegee dilemmas with his bookmaker. He calls the wife the bookmaker. And we determined that perhaps he needs to take, not perhaps, he takes care of the squeegeeing. It doesn't make any difference where you put it. Doesn't have to worry about it. That's your job. Well, the bookkeeper is weighed in. Hail the Flashlight King.
Hail you.
It's all right.
Better?
I've been remiss. Your ruling, which was handed down the day before our 43rd anniversary, has kept my hands clear of the squeegee, and it allows me to attend to the matters at hand when I return from an errand and not be bogged down by dripping or pooling or whatever else constitutes a mess on the garage floor. That day I noticed the condition of the squeegee as I passed by, and it was pathetic. Warped handle, missing and torn pieces on the blade, and the metal where the handle is inserted was slightly askew. Well, a light bulb went on, and another errand was needed immediately. After 43 years, gift ideas are difficult, but sometimes they are standing right in front of you. This was it. As anniversary gifts go, if one is paper and 25 is sterling silver, well, 43 must be squeegee. I presented the Alley King with a 30-inch neoprene silicone hybrid squeegee with an oversized ergonomic rubber-coated handle, and he looked like Ralphie when he opened the Red Ryder. He was speechless. Some gals might say a squeegee for an anniversary gift, and to that I say absolutely. I now know where the squeegee is, hanging on a dedicated hook near the garage door opener. I also know I don't need to be concerned with using it. He put the squeegee to use. As I looked out, he was delighted with its performance, and as a 21ster, kept muttering only 17 more days until spring. Well, back to bookkeeping and generating cardboard from daily deliveries. Good luck, Cheryl, the bookkeeper, Schroeder.
Huh.
I wholly applaud her gift. I got rubber floor mats one year from WeatherTech.
I know you did. You got good ones, too.
And that's what I said. These aren't just any kind.
I didn't run to Walmart.
I had to order these.
Custom fitted.
My roommate, Joe, asked for new speakers for the front of her truck.
Perfect.
That's what I thought.
Perfect.
I thought, wow, I think I picked the right woman.
What did you find, Reaver?
Alpha.
This is from Alpha News, and apparently we would be shocked to know the taxpayers, if they knew how bad things were in Minnesota, would be outraged. And Alpha News has consulted with a county worker who unfortunately remains unidentified. But I trust Alpha. I don't think they made this up. The county worker remains unidentified because the county worker doesn't want to suffer any consequences of blowing the whistle. The basic thing we learned in this piece was from a few days ago. But we've had entertainment shows for 2 shows, and I haven't been able to get to some of this stuff.
Right.
What we're learning, and I think we alluded to this, as much as fraud has been pathetic in this state, what really needs to be fixed is this state's entire welfare mentality. There are far too many nonprofits. There are far too many ways for the government to continue to spend money. There are too many redundancies, overlapping problems, overlapping programs. And what we learn in this piece is if the taxpayers knew how bad it was, they would be outraged. The system is built in a way that people learn how to stay on it forever. That's the problem. Right. And we have no governor to handle this. We never have during the Walz administration. People apparently are pretending to be impressed that he's appointed a fraud czar. It's all disingenuous. It's too late. He cannot possibly make up for the sins he's committed. He should not be the governor. He should lose if he continues to run again. He is not a competent fellow, and he's brought great shame and embarrassment to this state. And I wish for the love of God he would just go away and stop talking, because it's just dreadful to listen to him. It's all BS. And his pet newspaper in Minneapolis is shameful, the way they're...
You're going to bring it up. I was about to interrupt you, but
I can't take it.
You go ahead.
Well,
Should
the
I-
whole. You go ahead, Kenny. Set me up.
It's just the headline alone. If you don't fall into a deep rage with this headline, Governor Tim Walz deserves re-election and could win.
And that's written by a party activist named Blodgett, is it?
Yeah, Jeff Blodgett.
Jeff Blodgett.
Well, it's just.
It's so outrageous.
To cling to the idea that this guy is actually doing something is preposterous. He hasn't done anything. The fraud happened with his knowledge. For him to pretend now that he's doing something about it is ridiculous. But the whole editorial page, you read the first letter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The whole editorial page today, and this is getting to be pretty common. They have as their publisher a guy named Steve Grove, who was Walz's commissioner of Department of Employment and Economic Development. And then for some reason, Glenn Taylor plucked him to be the publisher of the Star Tribune, and it is a Walz apology paper. They cover for him. I mean that literally. This isn't hyperbole. It's by design. It's an embarrassment. It's not. And I got thinking the other day on the service road of life, because I walked the 2 cold days of the weekend. I bundled up, went for my
Badge of
walk.
honor. Badge of honor.
This newspapers taking sides like this, either being leftist newspapers or rightist newspapers, that did not exist to this extent. The whole time, from the day I started in newspapers until about, I'm going to pick a year at random. From 1973 to about 1993. Politics never entered my consciousness working for a newspaper. Nothing was ever done or written. Now, granted, for most of that time I was sports. Yeah. But nothing was ever done or written because of politics. It was a completely different world. Then by the time I became a columnist in St. Paul, I did use politics, but only in fun ways, because Rudy Perpich was fun to have fun with, and Jesse,
the hose coming out of the attic.
Yeah, Jesse was fun to have fun with, but there was still none of what you see today. I did not ever work for a newspaper that continues to this day that devoted itself to one political message. The Star Tribune today devotes itself to one political message. The Pioneer Press doesn't.
What happened
the Pioneer
to
Press is kind of all over the map.
What happened to the Walker Lundys and the Deb Howells?
Newspapers are dying. They don't have the revenue they did. They're all making a push to go digital. They're fading from the landscape. The reporters are a different breed than they were when I was younger. They're coming out of failed academies. They come with agendas. The newspapers are not what they were 50 years ago.
Do you remember your first non-sports related column?
Not really.
Really?
Well, no. I mean, that's 10,000 columns ago.
I get that, but I guess the only reason I'm thinking of when you brought it up is
It wouldn't have been politics.
it would have been a new.
Well, it was my first one. It was probably, well, here I am. I'm a St. Paulite, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Let's go find that Minnesota State Fair sign.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Was Deb Howell the one that dressed down Patrick a dozen years after he left the...
Yes.
But Joe, you as a columnist being political, that doesn't bother me at all. Columnists are completely different from the reporting
it took me a long time to even embrace that.
I see.
Can I throw one thing in, though? Because we're mixing two things here. The Blodgett piece is an opinion piece.
No, I understand.
It's not news reporting, and it shouldn't be taken as that.
Well, okay, here. You want the news report?
Yeah, no, I know what you're going to go to, because I did the same thing this morning.
Well, here's the front page.
Uh-huh.
We're worried about the Somali students. They're lowering their profiles. Presumably that's to avoid ICE. Trump's claims on fraud totals don't match the evidence. Well, they're unwilling to acknowledge that Trump did engage in some obvious hyperbole. They've stolen billions. Well, it is over $1 billion. The Star Tribune wants to pretend that it isn't that much. Because apparently, if the Star Tribune can say, well, it wasn't that much, it makes Walz look better. They're touting the 12-week paid leave program that begins in January. And the headline is Australia vows stricter gun control, which seems just a folly to print such a headline after a guy murders 15 people with guns in Australia. Gun control wasn't the Australian problem, just as it isn't the problem here.
They have some of the strictest gun control laws in the world.
Very strong, yeah.
Here's today. I didn't want to do this today, but Kenny brought it up because there's nothing to be gained for us being at war with the newspaper. Let them be what they want to be. Who wrote this? Rochelle Olson, headline, Weigh Walz's fraud response against how MAGA tactics affect this state. Okay, so that's more Trump deflection.
Okay.
The play letter to the editor. Fraud, unfortunately, is ever present. With a very handsome picture of Walz there. Governor Tim Walz deserves re-election and could win. That's this Jeff Blodgett guy. Minnesota should not sacrifice values to attract data centers. God forbid we attract a data center to employ 500 people.
A company that's actually willing to do business
Well,
here.
because that might affect the environment or something. Yeah. And then a story about philanthropy. Giving matters even for federal accounts. Giving rallies the spirit and the giver. Okay, whatever.
And if anybody challenges these views, and we've said this over and over again, they're known as right-wing website or far-right fill in the blank or Trump supporter fill in the blank.
Well, remember, we got to fight that, so we should be calling this, left-wing propaganda. May I tell you, what is this one? What time is it? Is it time for me to tell you about Precision Door?
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, well, I could just do this and we could just keep doing the show. You don't like to do that, do you? Because that throws you a wrinkle, doesn't it? You better learn how to do it.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, what? You got a door. You got a garage door.
Get her open.
You want it to work.
Let's go.
Precision Door will take care of you with a noisy door tune-up special. You come out there and that baby's groaning and creaking and making all sorts of racket. You want to check it out. They got a 25-point safety inspection now for $149. That's a good value. Normally $290. That's Precision Door. If that door is shot and you need a new door, Precision Door has models for every budget. Right now, Right now, GLers get $100 off a single door and $200 off a double door. Book online at Precision Door MN, one word, precisiondoormn.com, or call 612-263-6985 to schedule your free on-site new door estimate, or book one of Precision Door's noisy door tune-up special.
If I remember right, it was 2008 when I was assaulted by a deer. I hooked up with Schoonover Body Works for the very first time. We talked about them at length on Garage Logic. And then sometime, I don't know, 10 years later maybe, I lived in South Minneapolis. Somebody broke into the truck. I had some jerks near the station replace a broken window. Of course, they wrecked some inside trim. They wouldn't replace it. Mike Schoonover heard this, called me up and said, what have I done? Well, why aren't you coming to my shop? And I've been going to Schoonovers ever since, loyally. I'll never cheat on Mike again. Schoonover Body Works and Auto Care. They've done everything for me and my family. Body work, general repair, tires, accessories, more body work, glass. Yeah, they do a wonderful job with glass. And that's for both me and my son. We're now talking generations of Olsons that are customers, as are GLers. Why? Well, if you had been there, you'd know. If you know, you know. How's that go? IYKYK? If you know, you know. They've been family owned for 80 years. There's a good reason right there. Mike's son now on the staff. Their honest pricing, their expert craftsmanship, another reason. They stand behind every job they do, and you leave there knowing that job was done right. Schoonover Body Works and Auto Care does it all. Of course, wonderful body work. That goes without saying. Also glass, engine, drive time, drive train, maintenance, tires. I've had tires installed there, alignment, oil changes. That's why they're the official shop of Garage Logic, a 4.9 rating on Google, 5 stars from us. Schoonover Body Works and Auto Care. They're at 1060 County Road E in Shoreview. And on the web, check them out, schoonoverbodyworks.com.
Where is it? I have it. We have a new nonprofit that apparently is going out of business, and it should. I remember we discussed these people. 3 weeks after an audit revealed questionable spending, this is for the American Experiment, a Minneapolis nonprofit has announced that it will shut down. Move Minneapolis announced last week that it will sunset at the end of the year.
Please.
The nonprofit, which focused on sustainable transportation, was started in 1992 and became a subsidiary of Minneapolis Regional Chamber back in 2019. Now, so sometime in the last 5, 6, 7 years, we brought this outfit up, and I remember we went through their membership. Do you have it? Do you have it up right now?
I have their website up here.
Does it show their individual members? Because we were somewhat perplexed by the fact that none of them had any experience in anything, much less transportation, only to discover all along, of course, they've been being funded by you, the taxpayer. Among their desires as activists was to get rid of 94 between the cities. Silly, childish things like that. Do you have what other information
they
can
don't
you give
give us the bios of the staff and leadership.
Well, that's probably because they're sunsetting them.
Right. Tiffany Orth is the vice president of mobility. They have a senior outreach manager, but they do not give actual bios. I'll keep poking around, though.
Well, they're going down, and there's something to be learned here. As I said earlier, Minnesota is too heavily layered in funding these redundant policy groups and calling them nonprofits. You already have a Minnesota Department of Transportation. How many nonprofits do you want to fund that pretend they're involved with transportation? As I remember, these were pretty much all young people. None of them had any experience. They were all community activists. Turns out we've been paying them since 1992, and I'm sure their membership has come and gone, and they've never accomplished anything. They'll once in a while get a street closed so you can walk on it.
Now, I do have current commute ambassadors.
So the commute ambassadors.
And these people, this is Allison, employer entitled Clean Couts executive administrator. Her mini project, Allison is working on surveying staff around the current commutes, coordinating with Move Minneapolis on a relocation fair, ensuring that resources. It's just a bunch of gobbledygook.
It's all been
There's about 7 of them.
Since 1992, you've been paying for this, and God has smiled on us for some reason, and this is going out of business, which means that it was never a nonprofit. The people who worked for it were profiting, and they were a government agency. If
One of
the
the
money
gals-
dries up and you're a nonprofit, then merely what you've been is a government agency.
Jessica is working with Dayton YMCA members as well as staff to discuss transportation options and encourage biking, walking, and public transportation.
I can encourage that, and I'm not asking for any money.
Right.
So this is how they lived. This was funding the livelihoods of the people who were clever enough to land themselves a gig on an outfit called Move Minnesota.
Sounds like just a great deal, doesn't it?
Yes, you in the back.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Mayor. You are fresh out of the failed academy.
Yes.
You are designed with trying to put together a bio and a job description for the commute ambassador for the state of Minnesota.
I would say I am very experienced in moving about. Sometimes
I walk
in a car,
every day.
I walk every day.
I put it in D, it goes to Dayton's.
Yeah.
Commute ambassador.
Anyway, they're going out of business, which
that's
is
a shame.
a ray of hope. But
Did you
here's the
say
problem.
why?
They don't have any money. They stopped. What does it say?
Bring Me the News also has one.
It's way better than that.
Yeah, it's better.
Well,
than
help
that.
me then, because I don't have a very long version.
Closing down after an audit revealed high risk and questionable misuse of federal funds.
Yeah, that's right. That's where I started it with. An audit found questionable spending. So not only did they not do anything in regards to transportation, they were cheating anyway. It's just, here's the deal. A Republican candidate for governor in this state can win if they do a couple of things.
Okay, what?
One, they just have to be completely independent of Trump, in my estimation. Clinging to Trump in any way will not work in this state. It might work in other states. It will not work in this state. You've already got this buffoon governor who's deflecting everything he can onto Trump. He's running against Trump for governor. A clever Republican candidate will realize that the future of Minnesota does not lie with Trump and must disassociate himself or herself with Trump. Number two,
Okay.
you've got to present a scenario to the people of Minnesota to make them understand how horribly we've lost our tax dollars to endless and needless programs that are presumably outside the purview of the government, but you, taxpayers, have been funding them. Thus, Move Minnesota, for example. Unneeded, accomplish nothing, and now turns out to possibly have been committing fraud. Yes, you on the other screen.
I think John and I have the same point. Go ahead, John.
Well, I'm not sure, but we're talking about two different organizations here.
Yeah.
Move Minneapolis is the one that is going away.
Yeah.
Move Minnesota is still fully functioning and doing quite well.
And
there's
Move-
two of them?
No,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I didn't I read Move Minneapolis has announced that it's sunsetting.
That's the one.
Yes,
that's
you were
closing.
correct.
Yeah.
And the only
Yes.
point I want to bring up, and it's very, very minor, it's Move Minnesota that's obsessing about shutting 94 down between the downtowns.
But so did Move Minneapolis when we were talking about them initially years ago.
They're behind anything that gets rid of automobiles. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. They have a no car campaign.
Yeah.
Why transit?
Yeah.
Does Move Minnesota have a different mission statement than Move Minneapolis?
I think
or
they do.
Are they one and the same?
Well, that's statewide movement. Minneapolis was urban movement.
You
only.
can spool it up because you're on the freeway with
Yeah.
Move Minnesota.
Okay.
Chris.
Move Minnesota leads the movement for an equitable and sustainable transportation system that puts people first. We are passionate about connecting communities, ending the climate crisis, expanding access to jobs and resources, and improving daily life for Minnesotans of all ages, races, incomes, and abilities.
Okay, John, start it over, and every time I stop, you stop. In fact, I'll just stop you vocally. Start that sentence over again.
Read the headline too, John.
Putting people first.
Okay, go ahead.
Move Minnesota leads the movement for an equitable.
Stop. Write these words down. Write these words down.
There's going to be a
equitable.
quiz. Right,
Equitable. Now continue.
And sustainable
Stop. Write down sustainable.
transportation system that puts people first. We are passionate
Stop. Put passionate down.
about connecting communities,
Stop. Connecting communities.
ending the
can't write
climate
this
crisis,
Stop. There is no climate crisis. Write down climate crisis.
expanding access to jobs and resources, and improving daily life for Minnesotans of all ages, races, incomes, and abilities.
Can I read those back to you now?
Now read the words back to me.
Equitable, sustainable, passionate, connecting communities, climate crisis.
If you ever hear those words uttered by a so-called nonprofit, that nonprofit is meaningless.
We're scamming you.
We're here to take your. You were here for one reason:
to bleep us.
to bleep you, and we're going to take your money. If you ever hear those words, that's all it is.
That's brilliant.
Wow.
Now,
That's all it is. We're here for one reason: to eat. We're going to get fed by you.
Speaking of us getting screwed, I've been very frustrated that MnDOT has been giving these guys the time of day with their rethinking 94 nonsense when they admit on their own website that this isn't going to happen. So 2 or 3 weeks ago, I emailed the director of rethinking 94. She works for MnDOT, asking how much money they have spent to date on all the studies and meetings and everything else associated with rethinking I-94. You know what her reply was? Nothing. She hasn't replied. She's never going to reply. But why would they do that? Why would MnDOT give these guys the time of day?
Now, here is the executive director of Move Minnesota.
Is this Move Minnesota or Move Minneapolis?
This is Minnesota, and she does have a bio, and you're going to be impressed.
All right.
MJ Carpio is the executive director of Move Minnesota. In her previous roles as our political director and campaign manager, MJ focused on successfully dedicating funding for public transit and championing our nation-leading climate law through grassroots and political organizing. Her work today is informed by a breadth of past experiences, from working at the intersection of transportation and other...
Stop. Anytime you hear the word intersection, that's a bad sign.
All right. And let's see. Other essential is a policy aide at the Minneapolis City Council to organizing candidate and issue campaigns, conducting research at a neuroscience lab, working in restaurants, among others. She is a lifelong public transit rider, from jeepneys and tricycles to the New York City subway and Metro Transit, and sees the expansion and re-imaging.
Stop. Re-imaging's got to be put down.
Add that to the list.
Yep.
Of multimodal transportation systems.
Put down multimodal.
Multimodal.
They love the word modal.
What the hell does that even mean?
As integral to improving everyday lives, connecting communities, wrapping it up here, and adapting to climate change.
There is no climate change
There's
problem.
one
that
more
needs to
thing,
be adapted
Matthew.
to.
Outside work, she enjoys biking, reading nonfiction,
of course,
and cooking for and sharing food with people.
And her cat.
So I went to the page where Matthew found her, MG Carpio, our team. Every single one, what did you notice, Matthew? Every single photo and name has their pronouns.
Yes. Oh, yeah. She,
Every
her,
single
she, her.
one. Yeah.
They're all she, her,
What
I
is
guess.
she? What is she?
She, her, but then Abdinasar Nukarodi,
The one man.
he, him, policy and community specialist.
Oh, he's a community specialist.
Oh, but
What does that mean?
Ella Schuffman, the director of strategic partnerships. How do you do this? She, they.
She, they.
They is plural. How many are there?
And you're
Aren't
paying for
community
this.
specialists, those are the guys that sell you weed, right?
Yes.
I'll check his
is that what they
profile.
do?
Back to the Republican candidates. This is what needs reform. This state needs to be cleansed of this waste.
Right. We don't need to send them anywhere.
It's not accomplishing anything. These are people who have jobs that cannot be measured for achievement. You know, when you go up to somebody like that and say, "Can you tell me what you've achieved?" I have talked to a lot of people about the pleasures of public transit. Well, that's not an achievement. That's just you're chewing the fat with
Right.
somebody.
Yeah, the bios are pretty funny.
Why would you think that something that works in New York, Manhattan, would work here?
Where you can't find a parking place
I've
for a
said
car.
it a million times. Public transportation, like in New York and Chicago, makes a great deal of sense.
It's wonderful.
New York was built 200 years before people thought about Minnesota. It's dense. It makes sense. By the time wanderlust got out here to the prairies, what people desired was wide openness. And we have streets, and you might want to live 10 miles from where you work, and there's a road to drive there. Mm-hmm. We weren't designed to have these phony trains running around that have just become homeless shelters. We weren't designed for that. Never were, and they'll never pay them for themselves.
I use he, him, and his. And when someone uses my pronouns, it makes me feel respected.
I use he, him, and asking for someone else's pronouns helps me avoid misgendering my coworkers.
I use they, them
Help
pronouns
us, please.
because
I'm
sharing
praying.
my pronouns creates an inclusive environment.
Chris, I can't take this.
I can't either. That's from Hennepin County.
It sure is.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not a bit.
That's a training video.
That's a
Ken.
training video from
Come
Hennepin
on.
County.
Tony put
We've
that
played
together
it on
in the
the
production.
show.
Gee whiz. Oh,
They
man.
make me feel respect.
Oh.
Let me tell you
golly.
let me tell you something else that Walz is.
I'll tell you something right now.
He's a racist.
Really?
John, what's that quote you discovered over the weekend? You and Kenny were talking about it. There's Walz was asked about blaming Somalis or something to that effect.
Yeah,
I closed it, but I can find it.
I know you
requires
can.
backgrounding.
Well, background it for me.
I noticed a quote, and this is paraphrasing sloppily. Somebody asked him about holding Somalis accountable, and he said something about how about holding white people accountable. And I didn't do any background or fact checking on it. I think John did find something, though.
He was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Every effort is being made to excuse Somalis of thievery because they're black. Yeah. That's racism in my estimation. You are treating them unequally. They're not equal in your eyes, Walz, and all the rest of you frauds who perpetrated this fraud. You are racist. The left is racist, vitally so, significantly so. The left is racist. John, did you find it yet?
Yep. He was asked, do you want to see more ownership and oversight from within the Somali community about fraud, etc.? He answered, look, it's not law-abiding citizens. If that were the case, there's a lot of white men should be holding a lot of white men accountable for the crimes they've committed. I think for the community to maybe educate their population, because I think what you're seeing here is there's secondary victims in this, that there's providers inside the community that are then victimizing the community themselves by signing them up because we're going to some of these people. They're like, I had no idea I was in this program.
Well, I don't even know what the hell he's tripping over himself there, but he's a racist because he's trying to excuse black people from having to follow the law.
What I heard is that we should be holding him, a white man, accountable for all of this fraud.
Believe me, Walz, I am holding you accountable, and you're white. As far as I'm concerned, you should be in a prison cell.
Wait, so you agree with him?
Absolutely.
You agree with
I agree with him so long as I can hold him accountable.
Right.
Now, here's another example of leftist racism.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but...
Well, you always do. Well, what? Come on.
No, the whole point is he's been the most destructive person
and he's white.
in the entire history of the state of Minnesota.
Yes, he has.
And he is white.
Here's another example of leftist racism. The Trump administration has filed a lawsuit against the Minneapolis public school system this week, claiming that the district's teacher contract gives preferential treatment to educators of color. This preferential treatment is plainly discriminatory and unlawful, claims the federal complaint from the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division, which alleges discrimination on the basis of race, color, national origin, and sex. Minneapolis Public Schools will not comment. Marcia Howard, the president of the Minneapolis Federation of Teachers, also declined to comment. Release the Epstein files. That's all I'm saying, she said. That's the head of the teachers' union's response to a lawsuit filed against them for discrimination. What does she do? She deflects.
Release the
Epstein
files.
This woman is useless. The complaint stems from a provision. Here's the racist part. The complaint stems from a provision in the teacher contract settled in March 2022 to end a 3-week strike of the Minneapolis Federation of Teachers. Typically, teachers receive layoffs and involuntary reassignments based on seniority. But this rule often privileges white teachers because teachers of color are more likely to be new to the classroom. In the Minneapolis teacher contract, adopted in March of 2022, underrepresented teachers can retain their jobs out of seniority order. In other words, if you're a brand new black teacher, we don't treat you equally. We'll get rid of a white teacher and promote you because of your skin color. These people are racist.
Right.
Now, if a black teacher's been there all along, she or he better keep their job over a white teacher.
Amen.
But nobody operates that way anymore because that's garage logic. It makes too much sense. There's no political points to be scored.
Right.
This provision in the contract sparked right-wing outrage. Well, it should spark normal human being outrage, but the leftists will never admit they're racist. And lawsuits in state court, blah, blah. The case came before the Minnesota Supreme Court in October of 2024. In practice, the contract provision is yet to come into play because Minneapolis public schools have not laid off any teachers since 2010. Attorney Tim Sullivan, arguing for the Minneapolis public schools, told the Minnesota Supreme Court during October oral arguments that the district had not spent any funds to implement this provision of the contract. So they haven't exercised their racism yet.
Right.
But they have the language that will allow them to exercise their racism. That's all I had. You're telling young black teachers, no matter how good they are at teaching, that look, in the event of layoffs, don't worry about it. We'll keep you and we'll get rid of Mrs. Haberkamp, who's been here 40 years.
Yeah.
That's racism. Walz is a racist.
It's worth noting one more time, reiterating that this is coming from the Department of Justice. This is a federal case.
Mm-hmm. To which the union head in Minneapolis responds, oh, yeah? Well, release the Epstein files. That's their response.
All right.
To me, Joe,
Problem
that's an admission.
solved.
That's an admission of guilt right there. I know you are, but what am I?
These people are racist. The left has done more harm to race relations in this country than any other entity. Somebody prove me wrong.
I've been reading this press release from Department of Justice as you've been doing the story. There's just one little interesting line I wanted to throw in here. The lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the District of Minnesota notes that Minnesota public schools seeks to increase their BIPOC staffing to at least 40% by 2026, and that by 27, at least 54.3% of new teacher hires identify as Black, Indigenous, and people of color.
Mm-hmm. They're racist. God dang it.
I think it's important to reiterate what you just said. Also, if you're a black educator and if you've been there for a while, you're not going anywhere.
No, get rid of the young white guy. He doesn't have the tenure that you do. This ain't complicated.
Hire people on merit, not color.
Hire people on merit. I don't care if they're green. If they're teaching the math better than anybody else, don't get rid of them. Bing, bang, boom.
I would be a little
with
distracted
creating
if they
a
were
respectful workplace, how to normalize sharing and asking for pronouns.
Get out of here with that pronoun.
I need you to blow that piece of audio up, Chris. Please destroy that.
Here, I have that somewhere. I used to have that. Start playing it again.
Probably double.
No, I got it. Start playing it again.
The pronoun.
Play it.
Here are examples of personal pronouns. I'm sure you know most of them, but some are probably new to you.
Come on, Joe.
Also, some people may use their names instead of pronouns, or many use multiple sets of pronouns. For example, someone might tell you, my pronouns are
She gone.
Well, we were talking about transportation.
Yeah.
And if you want to get on the good side of Move Minneapolis,
Let's go.
you should ride an electric bike.
Where do you get them?
I saw some the other day. tearing through the snow with those fat tires. It looked kind of cool. Go to EcoFun in Forest Lake. Highway 97 immediately west of 35, and right now a great big EcoFun Christmas sale.
And Joe, if you're in St. Paul, you know that you're going to cruise the streets on pavement.
Freshly plowed.
Yes.
Free 16-inch electric bike for kids. That's a $799 value with any e-bike, ATV, youth ATV, dirt bike, golf cart, wave runner, motorcycle, or scooter purchased for Christmas at EcoFun. Pick up that bike for the kid or the grandkids. Step through electric bikes. $18.99 on sale for $8.99. Get the free bike for the kid. ATVs with 50-inch plows on sale for $58.99. Get the free bike for the kid. Yamaha generators in stock at both stores. Forest Lake and down in Burnsville on the County Road of Life near County Road 42. All those Yamaha generators on sale for low as $9.99 for a pull start and $10.99 for electric start. Not to mention a good selection of pre-owned Yamaha and Ski-Doo snowmobiles in stock, ready to hit the trails this weekend. And there is snow available. EcoFunMotorsports.com. It's a great Christmas sale underway now at EcoFun Motorsports.
Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Hofferman Water and Connecticut are here for you and your family in the holiday season. You're going to be entertaining. Why not have the best? How about the ice, Joe, from Hofferman Water and Connecticut?
Is she pretty clear?
Oh, the absolute best for all of your water needs. And you know what? Here's the thing. You don't understand how much bad water can affect almost every single aspect of your home. I was case in point. That's how this relationship started years ago. I was a customer of Hofferman Water and Connecticut, and they have done a tremendous job. Tremendous. Stupendous.
Big time.
Absolutely the best water systems known to man. And here's the deal. You got to get on that schedule. Have them come out for that free water analysis. You do that one of two ways. Get on that schedule by calling them at 612-895-2727. 2440 or book your appointment online at HoffermanWater.com. Either way, you get on that schedule and you have them come up for that free water analysis. And when they do that, they're going to give you this thing called a water score. And then based upon that water score, they'll give you recommendations on how they can upgrade the quality of the water inside your home. They have done that for me. They will do that with you. HoffermanWater.com. They have been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Do me a favor and mention that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast.
Here's John Heidt in his Garage Logic newsroom.
Have to turn on my mic, don't I?
I think so.
It helps.
Thank you, Joe. This news is brought to you by North American Banking Company. Classes at Rosemount, Apple Valley, Egan High Schools canceled today after the district reported possible threats. Additionally, students at Burnsville High School were in a hold, also due to the threats. A note to families sent by the district, which came after some kids were already on buses or at the school, said District 196 has received notification of potential online threats toward 196 high schools today. In coordination with law enforcement and out of an abundance of caution, according to the district, they decided to close the high schools for the day. Students who already arrived at school were returned home by buses. As for Burnsville, District 191, they posted a message online saying, at 7:50 a.m., we've entered a hold state as a precaution while we continue to investigate with help of the Burnsville Police Department. Officials say classes will be canceled for the rest of the day at the high school there and Burnsville Alternative High School when the hold is lifted. All students and staff are safe, according to the district.
We have a source who I know and trust. We can tell you what kind of messages was being sent, and I'm not.
They were sent out social media-wise. I'm not sure if it was Facebook, Instagram, what, but there's about 6 messages. And
some of them are difficult to make sense of.
They're not proper English. One says, see you all soon. The next message, if they don't want to take us seriously, that's on them if they want to die. Next message, I heard someone said they was using Eastview High School and Apple Valley High School as a distraction, and they was going to shot it up on a random day so people think it's a false alarm. Next message, that someone was me. The reason myself and my people didn't do it today because it would have been too obvious and predictable. We need you to be scared of us. This is no joke. And the next message, we have been giving y'all warnings. This is y'all last one before we do something. And then the last one, or second to last, was the dates of Apple Valley, Egan, Burnsville, and Rosemount. The reason we doing this to send a message after we do the first one, we are hoping to y'all will take us seriously. Each group is the amount of people who goes to that school. Group 1 has 3, Group 4 has 8, Group 3 has 2, and Group 2 has 7. And then the final one is a picture of some firearms, and it says, what should I shoot Apple Valley High School?
What's the first thing that comes to mind, Joe? I've got something for
Somebody
you.
skipped English class.
Well, that was going to be my answer.
Oh, sorry.
No,
No,
that's
it's
the right
much,
answer.
much simpler than that. This is from a bot overseas. This is 100% BS.
Oh, really?
Meant to inflict terror and mental anguish. I don't believe any of this.
Good. I'm glad. I hope you're right. I'm too unfamiliar with bots to have spotted that right away.
And yet, look at how disruptive it can be.
Oh, 100% successful.
I'm being told they canceled all after-school and evening activities, which tells me they have no clue yet. But Kenny,
Those
I never
are
thought
the
of
actual messages the students were seeing on their phones.
Yeah, that's all bot speak. That's some moron that just logged in somewhere overseas and looked at his to-do list for today and started in. Got busy.
But why the
drinking
suburbs
coffee,
and why not Minneapolis schools?
Smoking filterless cigarettes.
Well, either way, it's just a horrendous look at modern life.
Rookie, what difference would it make, though? You said, why not Minneapolis?
I mean, why would they choose the 196, the Burnsville, Apple Valley, Egan area versus, Minneapolis or St. Paul?
I don't know how the bot world works. I don't know how it would have come to that conclusion.
Hennepin County Sheriff's Office is providing more information about its role in responding to a help call from federal agents on Monday. The Sheriff's Office was contacted by the Department of Homeland Security at about 1:13 in the afternoon regarding a request for help in Minneapolis. The DHS told the Sheriff's Office that 60 to 7 agitators were surrounding and attacking agents near 29th Street West and Pillsbury Avenue. The Sheriff's Office said it immediately sent deputies to the scene, but the deputies did not witness any attacks or any law enforcement agents injured or needing any medical help. A crowd was blocking the federal agents from exiting, so deputies helped them leave the area, according to the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office. They said, in a spokesperson said, for the Sheriff's Office, our obligation is to ensure the safety of all people in Hennepin County. Governor Walz expected to sign 2 executive orders today concerning guns. According to an announcement from the governor's office, the orders will establish a statewide safety council and produce data on the costs of gun violence and promote education on safe storage. After the mass shooting at Annunciation Catholic Church and School that killed 2 kids and injured 30 other people, the governor wanted to call a special session to introduce stricter gun regulations. Those discussions faded when it became clear that House Republicans, they control the House, wouldn't budge on any measures. Last month, when asked if he would call a special session without an agreement in place, he said no, because he didn't think it would go anywhere. During an unrelated press conference on Friday, the governor said he planned to take aggressive action on gun violence in the coming days. That would be what this is, apparently. The regular session of the Minnesota legislature kicks off February 17th. A guy at the Pioneer Press, Jess Myers, reporting that, hockey is going to have a museum in Inver Grove Heights. Are we excited about that?
Finish the story then.
Surprising.
The Pioneer Press has confirmed through multiple sources that the new Minnesota Hockey Hall of Fame complex will be built in Inver Grove Heights, with construction expected to begin in the summer of 2026. The official announcement will be coming on the heels of the community's city council approving a purchase agreement on a high-visibility piece of property at its December 8th meeting. That announcement is expected tomorrow. Inver Grove Heights Mayor Brenda Dietrich and the 4-member council met in a closed session, then reconvened to vote on purchasing the parcel of land known as Ace in the Hole, located just east of the Viking Lakes development near Interstate 494 and Argenta Trail. The proposal passed on a voice vote, with 1 council member voting no. The parcel, a formerly ag land, has been touted as a potential development site for years. In a 2017 letter from then-Governor Mark Dayton and economic development leaders to Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, encouraging them to locate in Minnesota, the Ace in the Hole property was listed as a 124-acre plot of land with a value of about $6 to $9 million. A copy of the purchase agreement provided by the city of Inver Grove Heights calls for buying 46.43 acres of the land for $8.725 million.
Wow.
To house the new facility in a visible spot adjacent to one of the metro area's busiest freeways. One traffic estimate has more than 85,000 cars passing that site every day on average, and the addition of a freeway interchange at Delaware Avenue is being proposed as part of the new development. The sellers had signed the purchase agreement as of Monday afternoon, with plans for the city representatives to sign it at their regularly scheduled Monday evening, December 15th. Meeting.
Are you guys aware of a property for sale in Farmington that's an abandoned military unit?
Yep. Did they make ammunition there?
No.
Why do you ask?
Because I would love to buy it. It's.
Let's do it.
It is the coolest thing. It's a couple of acres.
Yep.
You could have your own racetrack. Mm-hmm. There's outbuildings.
You can't do anything in the city. There's no way.
This is Farmington.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to allow that.
Don't be such a wet blanket. Let me finish here.
Trust me. I know.
There's a house. There's outbuildings. There's roads. It was some sort of command center or communication center for missiles or whatever, and it's long since been out of use. That's all I had. I just thought if I had a little extra dough, I'd buy that. I just would make it a British car.
So it's not
go-to destination.
It's not a residential property?
No.
Can we go back to reality here?
Yeah, who's paying for the hockey museum?
No, the question I have is, what about the museum in Eveleth?
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Didn't we already have one?
Because this was a big debate a year or two ago, moving the Evelyn Museum down to here.
I think that's what this is.
Okay, but Invergrove Heights, wouldn't you think? Maybe South St. Paul, St. Paul.
Better climate.
Oh,
Payne Avenue.
I think, Matthew, I think it's real estate prices. You heard.
It's Dakota County, right?
it's just the Minnesota Hall of...
Is somebody talking in the background?
That's Gabe.
Give him a mic. What's he saying?
Joe said the Minnesota Hockey Hall of Fame. Evelyn would be the United States Hockey Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So my guess is they're trying to build a Minnesota Hall of Fame for hockey, which would be separate than the U.S. Hall of Fame.
Okay, who's paying for this Minnesota? I love hockey. Who's paying for it?
Well,
the taxpayers, or
Invergrove Heights is paying $8.72 million for the land.
Huh.
What could they possibly have? A couple of old goalie pads and a broken stick.
Gilles Malash's face mask.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of Minnesota hockey.
What was the major freeway you kept referring to, John? 494?
494.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's right. It's a
Hey,
stone's
Snow.
throw from the Vikings
Hey, Snow.
facility.
Hey, Snow.
Hey, Snow. I've never heard of that.
Okay, and one more question, John, so we can do the math. You said 43-some acres at a price of what?
46.43 acres, so 46 and a half, roughly, for $8.725 million.
Chris, are you doing the math on that?
Sure am.
What's the?
I want to know per acre what the price per acre is there.
I mean, that's actually not a bad price for that amount of
$400,000 an
land.
acre.
Jesus.
But right off the freeway?
Well, whatever. It's enough time given.
Well,
to
it's going to
that.
be behind it.
We're done with this.
Okay. Back to the Farmington.
Moving
What's the
right
Yeah,
along.
how are we going to get
back to my fantasy of having my own military-industrial complex.
Well, Zillow doesn't do commercials, so I
You
can't
don't
find
know how governments work, do you?
Oh, I guess I don't, Kenny. Thank God you're here.
See, yeah, you know what? You're right. Because they could see you coming down Highway 3 as you roll into Farmington with that beat-up old British piece of S
Leaking oil everywhere.
with a checkbook.
I sometimes think Joe says mean things to me, but just the tone of the way he said that, he was far meaner than anything he's ever said to me.
Yeah, what do you want me to make this check out for?
Yes, Matt. Isn't that neat?
Yeah, you should buy that.
I wish
you
I
got that
I-
kind of scratch.
It's cheap.
I'll throw in $25.
It's $1.2 million or something like
I
that.
guarantee you,
2.2.
2.2.
the first thing you're going to do when you buy that is put in a little apartment, and you'll never be at home again.
First thing I do when I buy it is put up a gate so you can never get in.
Why not? Maybe we could do the show from down there.
Oh, my God. Look at that.
Everybody but Kenny.
It is so cool. It is so cool.
It's
Some
just a,
billionaire is going to buy that for boats or cars. Mark
this
my
on
words.
Zillow?
it's just a shame that if you did acquire that property, that Marjorie wouldn't be able to come on the show and talk about it.
Right.
Joy,
You got a racetrack in there?
Tell you about what your mortgage payments are.
Right
here.
all about it.
Is there a pool back there?
Is it true you pay $100,000 a month in mortgage payments?
Oh, why don't we move along here? Before we get to national, international news, let me tell you what
God
you should
bless
get
you,
people.
Marjorie.
Oh,
Here's what you should get people for a Christmas present: an Aura frame. It's one of the coolest things that came into our house in the past year. We took our favorite photos and videos, and we have lots of them between the two phones, loaded them into our new Aura frame. All right, now that's about 800 items, and I guarantee you'll want to add all the new pictures and the ones you get during the Christmas season. And the Aura frame, very easy to use. You just download the Aura app, connect it to your Wi-Fi, start adding pictures from your phone. You can personalize your gift, add a message before it arrives even, and every Aura frame comes packaged in a premium gift box with no price tag. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off of Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames. That frame, by the way, named #1 by Wirecutter. You can get your money off by using the promo code GL at Checkpoint. Just the letters GL. So go to auraframes.com. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code GL. The deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Aura Frames.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
Everything that's old is new again. If you want something really reliable, you're not going to get it from that brand new green machine that you've got plugged, that block heater plugged in with a battery tender on it. That thing ain't going to start when it's 20 below out. You know what is going to start? That old cruddy International sitting out behind the shed, not plugged in, gasoline. The only thing that's happened to this thing is you dump a lot of seafoam in it on a regular basis. So it happened to a friend of a friend up here over the weekend when it was so cold. He couldn't fire up the new green machine, but that old red one, that fired right up in the cold weather. And I attribute all of that to, well, old machinery is always better. And seafoam, everything is better with seafoam. It doesn't matter if it's diesel, gas, 2-stroke, 4-stroke, single-cylinder, 12-cylinder. Seafoam is always the answer. The motor treatment is fantastic. It preserves ignition vapors, very important in cold weather. Among all the other benefits you get from seafoam, you know that thing's going to fire up when it's 20 below. You can find it everywhere, from the Knack Hardware to the big box stores. Even grocery stores carry seafoam, a wonderful product in a world of bad gas. Seafoam.
In national and international news, police are continuing their search for the gunman who killed 2 Brown University students and wounded 9 others. They've now released multiple videos and images showing someone they say is a person of interest. Providence Chief of Police Colonel Oscar Perez yesterday released additional videos of a person dressed in black. Doesn't show a lot. They're wearing a face mask walking near the area of Hope and Benevolent Street. They were taken around 2 in the afternoon on Saturday, 2 hours before the first 911 call came in on the day of the shooting. Perez told reporters, "We believe that's the same individual that we showed you from the previous videos that we released." Earlier, the Providence Police Department shared a different video of who they said was a person of interest and urged the public to contact the FBI tip center line if they recognize the individual. FBI yesterday announcing a reward of up to $50,000 being offered for information that leads to the identification, arrest, and conviction of the suspect. Federal authorities yesterday announced 4 people have been arrested on charges of plotting New Year's Eve bombings at multiple sites of 2 U.S. companies in Southern California. Court records identified the suspects as members of an anti-government group known as the Turtle Island Liberation Front. The individuals were arrested last week in the Mojave Desert while they were preparing to test explosives. One member allegedly provided a confidential FBI source with an 8-page plan of the attack that was called Operation Midnight Sun. That plan detailed simultaneous bombings at 5 locations of Amazon-type logistics centers. The plan included instructions for building pipe bombs, avoiding DNA evidence, using burner phones, and exploiting fireworks to mask explosions. The suspects are all from the L.A. area, age 24, 30, 32, and 41. They face charges of conspiracy and possession of an unregistered destructive device, with additional charges expected.
Can I interrupt for a moment, John, and get back to Kenny with a question? If those threats in District 196 were, in fact, a bot, some sort of foreign influence that just created this just for the hell of it, do authorities have the means to determine that?
Oh, what a wonderful question. I don't know. But you would think in the ideal world that they would know right away. But I can't answer
Gabe
that.
is saying, yes, they have the means to identify that.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So should I retract?
Well, they would be able to track the IP address of where the messages came from, which is every single electronic device will have an individualized IP address.
Yeah.
So anybody who is using this specific computer, they can track it back to that computer.
All right.
So, Gabe, would you consider those threats legitimate?
I would say so. But, I mean, again, I don't quote me because I think there's a lot that they'll find out in these coming hours and days, and they'll definitely find the person or at least the location of where it came from.
And here with a thorough breakdown of what an IP address is, the Mayor Joe Souchere.
Well, it's individual personality.
Right.
The bot, the IP gives some indication of mental stability.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Gabe, isn't it more like it's like your mailing address, right?
No. I mean,
No?
are you talking about your email address?
No,
Or-
your IP address. It's just a way of tracking you.
Yeah, it's the computer, because a computer talks to another computer with numbers.
What does IP mean?
Something
Internet protocol.
Yeah, internet protocol. So everything will have it. Your phone, your laptop, your TV, your computer, anything with access to the internet.
Internet protocol?
Yeah.
He is right. I just
Where
looked
the
it up.
hell did you
I
pull
have
that
no
out
idea.
of?
Well, I was going to go with IP freely, but I just went with internet protocol instead.
Now, can you
Two
not?
dots, slashes, war, period, origin.
Yep.
But you can hide your IP address, Gabe, right? With like virtual private.
Yeah, you can, but
VPNs
I mean, a federal government, think of like the NSA and Edward Snowden. That doesn't mean anything to the technology they use. They'll knock that down no matter what.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of like
Well, I'm
those
gonna
people
go with
that are
what
after
Gabe-
Kenny.
Kenny's sticking with his theory.
Yep.
No, I'm going with Gabe.
Okay,
No,
then it's-
I'll totally back down.
Well, then we have to take these more seriously than we thought.
Yep.
The U.S. has agreed to provide unspecified security guarantees to Ukraine as part of a peace deal to end Russia's nearly 4-year war. More talks now are likely this weekend, according to U.S. officials. The officials said talks with President Trump's envoys, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, led to narrowing differences on security guarantees that Kyiv said must be provided, as well as on Moscow's demand that Ukraine concede land in the Donbas region in the country's east. The president dialed into a dinner last night with negotiators and European leaders. More talks are expected this weekend in Miami or elsewhere in the U.S., according to officials. U.S. unemployment rate rose to 4.6% in November, its highest in more than 4 years, fueling questions about the American economy's underlying strength. A long-delayed government report on Tuesday showed that 64,000 jobs were gained in November, while 105,000 jobs were lost in October. The unemployment rate in November rose to 4.6% from 4.4% in September, the last month that the Labor Department had reported the unemployment rate. Job losses in June, August, and October mean the U.S. economy has shed jobs in 3 out of the past 6 months.
A number that was way above my pay grade was about what John just mentioned, the fact that many of these positions were occupied by people in this country illegally. Is that with the U.S. Department of Labor statistics? Are we able to determine that, John?
I have
Do you
no
know?
idea.
No idea.
Okay.
I don't know. Meanwhile, speaking of the economy, a series of national polls are showing that President Trump is facing some sustained disapproval over his handling of the U.S. economy. Some Republicans are worried these are warning signs for the upcoming election in 2026. Among the polls, an AP NORC poll conducted December 4th through the 8th found that only 31% of Americans approve of the president's handling of the economy. Separate polling from Fox News, conducted November 14th through the 17th, found that 76% rate the U.S. economy negatively under Trump, up from 70% at the end of the Biden administration. Voters blamed Trump for the economic situation at a 2-to-1 ratio over former President Biden. The Trump administration yesterday unveiled a new initiative dubbed the U.S. Tech Force. It comprises about 1,000 engineers and other specialists who will work on artificial intelligence infrastructure and other technology projects through the federal government. Participants will commit to a 2-year employment program, working with teams that report directly to agency leaders in collaboration with leading technology companies. Media news, Howard Stern is sticking with SiriusXM. The radio host has inked a new 3-year deal with the satellite radio company, he announced this morning. Stern said, "I'm happy to announce I've figured out a way to have it all. More free time and continuing to be on the radio." Stern's future with SiriusXM had been the topic of tabloid fodder for months after a report earlier this year suggested that his show was about to be canceled. Stern would go on to prank his listeners and some in the media by hyping his return to the radio, only to have Andy Cohen sign on to announce that Stern had been fired and that he would be taking over his channel. Stern eventually came on and said that he and SiriusXM were still negotiating over his future. The terms of his new deal were not immediately clear, although Stern said that it was for 3 years and would allow to have what he called more flexibility. His last deal was a 5-year deal worth an estimated $100 million per year.
Wasn't Andy Cohen just found slumped against a light post in L.A., passed out? Who am I thinking of?
Andy,
Andy somebody.
Andy Dick.
Andy Dick.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Andy Dick was found something.
Yeah, overdosed on the streets of California.
Overdosed, and the next day he said he didn't have a problem. He just likes to try crack once in a while.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
I mean, we're done with this moment.
Let's talk about Masters Maples and mastersmaples.com. I got a great email. Tiffany bought her husband the savory seasoning from Masters Maples, prime rib, over Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh, that would be good.
First of all, Tiffany, why did you not invite us, or maybe drop by a sample of that? But that's the beauty of Masters Maples and mastersmaples.com. Go on to their website right now, and you can see all of their different gift packs that they have available. Of course, you're going to get the 100% pure Minnesota maple syrup, and the best that there is to offer. And that's courtesy of our buddy Ben, a loyal GLer, and the brain trust behind mastersmaples.com. But you've also got, like I mentioned, those sweet and savory seasonings and rubs, and also 100% pure maple sugar for the bakers that are in your life. And it's wonderful stuff. And you know what? You cannot go wrong with a gift pack from Masters Maples and mastersmaples.com. You can go on that website, but you can also go into all of your Fratelloni's hardware and garden stores locations to get that fine quality products. But again, place your order today at mastersmaples.com, and you can taste the difference and let them know you heard about them here on the Garage Logic Podcast.
For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed, and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, got it! Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Johnny Heidt.
He did the guitar face. Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn of something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived close to that time than this year as I sing this song. And I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around life is brief and dear. I can hardly believe my baby girl's turned 26 this year. For a little while it seems You got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see everybody. 100 years ain't what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around yourself and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be.
Hold you. What does that mean? It's a good song.
This guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
I'll tell you one of the hats he wears, and that is the acquisition hat. When he's looking for the right Christmas holiday gift, doesn't matter. He knows to go. Suchi knows to go to the Garage Logic Holiday online auction that is live and in living audio color. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yes.
Do you know that it starts this Friday?
Right.
Runs through Thursday, 12/18.
Well, we can't bid on this.
Do you know what's in there?
Yeah.
It
I've
started
got
last
every
Friday.
item. Yeah, last Friday. It's
Yeah.
live right now.
Right.
Did I say that?
No.
Oh, did I say it starts Friday?
okay.
Well, it's in the copy. I didn't get the updated
Here
copy.
you go. Right here.
You can win a cheap Timex watch. Yeah, apparently he just pointed to with the little X-Lex. He got the little X-Lex watch. Yeah, or Timex or whatever it is. EcoFun Motorsports, Garage Floor Geeks, Drive a Tank, Deer Run Golf Course. There's so many great things on there. Go to Garage
See, if
Logic.
I got that place, you could bring your tank out there and drive it.
They would, for sure they
Yeah.
would do that. That's at
Government won't allow that.
drivetank.com. I love their website too, Kenny. It's driveatank.com. It's like tells you what it is, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, man.
GarageLogic.com. Enter keyword auction. You have to register, then you view and bid on all of the items. Again, it runs through the 8 p.m. on Thursday, 12/18. Things are going fast. And
It's going to be over before you get this done.
It might even be done. So I'm throwing away this copy. Garage Logic online auction.
I would like to point out that I believe we did just set a new Garage Logic record.
How so?
Well, in which I believe you got 8 seconds into that read before Joe looked at his watch.
I know. How does that work?
Say the traveling Lymans.
Are we there already? It's 1:30.
The traveling Lymans have now rented a car in Auckland, New Zealand, and then they drove 90 minutes to Kewaka, New Zealand, where we have a rental vacation home. We'll be living there until Feb 12. Honest to God, I can't wait till we have them back in studio.
Where is this again? I'm sorry?
They're in New Zealand.
Oh, man.
And you can follow their travels on Worldwide Waftage, one word, worldwidewaftage.com. And it's only because they come to us all the way, in this case, from New Zealand. And the traveling Lymans, it was on this day.
Joe, today is December 16th.
Well, on this day in 1814, Horace W.S. Cleveland was born in Lancaster, Massachusetts. A visionary landscape architect, he designed parks and boulevards in the Twin Cities, including Como Park, St. Anthony Park, Minnehaha Park, Summit Avenue, and the drives along the Mississippi River.
Cool.
On this day,
Joe, December 16th.
In 1884, machinist William H. Fruin of Minneapolis was issued the first U.S. patent for an automatic liquid dispensing vending machine which discharged a uniform amount of liquid from a reservoir when a coin was placed in a slot. An enthusiastic fisherman, Fruin had settled earlier in the year at the western edge of the city and began excavating near his home for the construction of a fish pond in which to keep his catch fresh for eating. The discovery of a pure spring in a glen led Fruin to sell jugs and then coolers of fresh water, and he founded the Glenwood Springs, now Glenwood Inglewood Water Company.
Copy that. Well, we go with Hofferman. I mean, that's what we do.
On this day,
December 16th.
In 1889.
It seems like yesterday.
The Minneapolis Public Library opened with Herbert Putnam as librarian under an agreement with the Minneapolis and an Athenaeum. The Public Library Board provided a building and staff to lend the Athenaeum's books, thereby making them available to the citizens of Minneapolis. On this day in Minnesota sports disappointment
How many books
history.
did they have back then?
Quite a few, Matt. On this day...
Who'd we lose to on December 16th?
On this day in 1984...
Vikings.
Les Steckel's last game as head coach, they lost to the Packers and had a 3-13 season, the worst record in team history. Now, hold on a minute.
Who had the story then?
Check this out.
Yeah.
In 1984, the season was over by December 16th.
Wow, that's a good point.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, but then
because
who
they only
broke the
played
story
16 games.
Of Bud Grant coming back.
I don't know.
You did. Dark Star and you guys.
Oh, I don't remember.
When Les was sent away.
But that wasn't the strike year, because the strike year was 87, correct?
Bucky Scribner.
I don't know.
Was the punter.
You were asking what, like time.
On this day,
Why do
December
I remember
16th.
In 1991, Carl Pohlad sold his shares in the Vikings. I didn't know he had it.
What year? 81?
I forgot completely. 91.
91.
Well, this was an unfortunate day. What day is this?
December 16th.
In 2002. Baseball?
Don't say contraction.
No. The Twins released David Ortiz.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Tom Kelly, he want me to hit like a bitch.
that was a bad day for the franchise.
Among
I suppose they couldn't afford him, right?
No, it was
he wanted to...
injury related, which is why they released him.
Well, he certainly rebounded.
Yeah, but TK wanted him to hit like that.
And had quite a career for the Red Sox.
Made the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he did. Yep. And that concludes
that in Farmington?
Today's musings. Musings.
Please do us a favor if you have not done so already. Hit subscribe on the Garage Logic YouTube channel. That's right, Garage Logic, we've got a YouTube channel, and you can watch the show each and every single day, starting right around noon. And you can also see full segments, video shorts, behind-the-scenes footage, It's all there for you. Just search Garage Logic on YouTube, along with all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and X. And you can also sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. You find out more and sign up today at garagelogic.com.